Saiyan.
So we have Rase on the left. Who's playing on that?
Is that Saiyan? Did we go in a time machine and go back 10 years?
So
to 16-year-old Saiyan?
He is a mere Saiyan.
One day, Dan. That's probably an anime reference because Saiyan's name is an anime reference.
Really?
I have no idea.
I'm looking for a new co-caster for Hearthstone Grandmasters America Season 3.
The only
Send your applications
the
to
only qualification
tjsanders@blizzard.com.
And it actually is my job to sift through them. So.
TJ, did you model the key art for Topsy Turvy?
I didn't even see it. What does it look like? It's very colorful. I know that.
It's
blue,
like
yellow, red,
it looks
green.
like a robot furry animal, but flipped upside down.
Why did you connect that with me?
I don't know. I feel like
Is that all I am to you, Dan? A furry robot? That's upside down.
In the light's name.
I didn't before, but I do now. Priest mirrors to start things off here. Justine starting off the cleric, but choosing to play the light warden instead. Light warden early on gives you the opportunity to fight back against the early game by getting that extra stat buff by healing, but now Saiyan has his own Ninja Tolvir thrown in the way. And thus the Priest Wars began.
Ah, yes, I love it.
Well, the extra arms here normally would be great, but no, there it is. There's TJ.
The topsy-turvy powered shield beaming sidekick.
Cool, I like it.
Boom, done. Next game.
I must consider.
Is the next game, though?
That's a very powerful play. Goes up to 6 health.
I guess he does it in this order.
Then it dies.
Hey, I got you, friend.
Does it in the other order.
Oh, yeah, no, this works as well. This is exactly the same, actually. He just gets to evaluate the power word shield draw before. Because either way, it would be at 6 health, or 4 health, I mean. No, this is worse, right? Because his own injured Tolvir would be at 3 attack.
It'd be at 3 attack
And 4 health. Because he'd swap it to 2 health. He'd beaming sidekick.
But he has a Ritualist. So he's anticipating the Ritualist. He's going to survive, and he can play Ritualist on the Tolvir because it has more max health.
It has more max health now. No, you're right. Less attack, but more max health.
Which I think is more important.
I must consider.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Definitely worth thinking about, though, right? Like, do you value that 3 extra attack? I argue if that there's a cleric on board, then it would have been better.
Yeah.
But you know, that's not really the source of the argument, I suppose.
Yeah. No, it is actually an interesting proposition because he would have to play off curve in order to play Nephroset Ritualist. Having that extra attack might be beneficial.
It would have been. It might have been in this situation, but Rase can just go for extra arms and punish the cleric, Light Warden.
Consider.
Yeah. I think the max health, because it is a significant more amount of max health, right? Like it's the max health on the injured Tolvir otherwise, since Topsy-Turvy removes the damage effect, would be 2. And then he'd buff it so it'd be 6. Where in this case, the max health is 10. So it's a difference of 4 max health for 1 attack. So I think this play is better.
Ray's even debating whether or not he wants to attack into Sand.
I must consider.
Move quickly.
I'm curious how this is going to work out. just because that's a really interesting scenario. Right now, it would be exactly the same. He'd have a 5/6 on board at full health and a 1/2.
Right, and then you'd be able to more arms, punish anything else that comes out for 7 health.
consider-
Saiyan has the Psycho Pump or the High Priest of Met, and I think he's looking at High Priest of Met so he can revive with the Psycho Pump.
Yeah, and then play Northshire Cleric potentially alongside of it.
The Northshire Cleric seems to be more of a reload after the Priest War. The first Great Priest War has concluded.
Yeah, but at the same time, his pool would be diluted because he's had a Light Warden and an injured Tol'Vir die. But that means that right now, Psycho Pump's pretty weak. But he also knows that if he plays High Priest of Met in this situation, it just dies to the extra arm.
Oh, gets the 2/6. Injured Tol'Vir. Oh, okay. Okay. Wow. If Rase wants to get the full tempo, he would play more arms for the trade so that he can stop the injured Tol'Vir from getting Divine Spirit Interfired. One of the big things about this matchup is using Interfire pretty aggressively to shut down your opponent's options, because they need to have minions on the board in order to utilize their spells. Seems like it's a more arms situation. Saiyan knew about this possibility, but he was hoping that the board would get whittled down a little bit beforehand.
Yeah, at least this gives him the opportunity to force Rase to play off
Was
curve
someone injured?
if he wants to trade over to it.
Scary times.
Yeah,
But I think Saiyan's gambit of like having the High Priest of Met come out as a 2/9 doesn't seem like it's going to come out here. He does have the ability for High Priest of Met Divine Spirit the next turn. Things are just really uncomfortable for Saiyan right now. A single silence will bust this game wide open for him, though. He High Priest of Met, Power Word Shield, silence the 2/6, trade into the Northshire Cleric, and I'd almost be willing to declare him the winner of this game.
Yeah, and I believe Saiyan, if he's playing the same list as Muzzy, is running 2 silences in his list. And he is. He's running the 2 silence, 1 top secret.
Oh my goodness!
Nailed it!
Rase can't believe it. The silence to bust through.
That is a deck building reward. The double silence coming out from Saiyan this week. Paying off.
Yeah, and Rase is devastated. He knows how important that was. Now, again, he picks up Inner Fire, so it's not determined yet by any means. The first thing about Inner Fire is that it'll shut down a huge swing of health from Amet, because your opponent would have to heal it beforehand, and that limits their development tools.
But at the same time, his board development overall would be weaker because he wouldn't be able to develop Injured Blade Master and Neferset Ritualist.
So maybe you hope that he has no minions. You bump the 2/9, play Injured Blade Master, Neferset Ritualist, and then Inner Fire afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm on board with that too. I'm on board with that too, because if Amet hits a Divine Spirit on a 2/9, I mean, this is the play that I was originally thinking. TJ, there are a lot of cards about to be drawn here. Although, wait, hold on. The way it works is that you have to heal the Amet first before the Injured Blade Master. Otherwise, Injured Blade Master will kill himself.
Is someone injured?
Brutal. Rase doesn't want to see it. He doesn't want to even look. The Turvy. Another circle of healing. Interesting that he's not bumping or anything first beforehand.
The end begins. The end begins.
Oh, that's a good outcome for Rase. If it was a taunt minion, that would have been awkward situation. Now Saiyan can utilize Inner Fire in this spot for Ahmed to trade into the board.
curious where he puts this, though.
I think I want to kill the higher health,
Higher
minion,
health?
just to stop any kind of Divine Spirit Inner Fire.
Yeah. Oof.
Brutal. Absolutely brutal. The silence broke this game wide open.
Yeah.
I think Rase kind of recognizing that he might be out of this one. Even though the second Psycho Pump didn't do enough, or didn't do that much really, it still was plenty in order to add pressure to the board.
Consider.
Kill the Ahmed and pass.
Okay, second silence. Maybe just Divine Spirit and Turvy here?
Sure, what's he gonna do?
I like it. 2-turn clock.
Yeah.
Give him less opportunities.
Yep. And that should wrap it up. I don't think Rase has any outs here. Even if he picks up a silence. He has no board development. He's at 8 life, and he dies just on board, even with the silence minions.
Wow.
So close one.
A reversal by Saiyan as he takes game number 1. On the verge of potentially improving to an 8-1 score. We've never had a player go undefeated in Grandmasters. I mean, but being able to go X1, 13-1 would be quite the achievement. Don't know if that's possible here. Saints will have to string off 6 games in a row. That'd be still pretty absurd. But he has had similar hot streaks in his region before last year on his path to becoming the points leader in 2018. Saiyan had one of the most streakiest summers that you'll ever see in competitive Hearthstone. It was unbelievable what he was able to do. Something silly like 34 series consecutive wins.
Yeah, there was a little bit of controversy with that statement because he did like lose a
winners bracket
one of
match
the
or
best of
something?
5s in a grand finals where he came from the winners bracket when you
Yeah.
have 2 best of 5s, so he technically lost a series. But since that series was part of a bigger series and he ultimately won the bigger series, it was discounted. But nonetheless, one of the most impressive runs we've seen.
All right, we're going to take our break here for the series. When we come back, we're going to find out if Rase can bring it back against justsaiyan, who looks unstoppable.
Legends say powerful treasures are hidden everywhere here in Aldum.
If we hope to defeat Rafam, we'll need as many as we can get. He's already unleashed the ancient plague lords and countless monsters. Keep them distracted, Reno.
Not a problem. This plan is totally gonna work. Ain't that right, Finley?
Oh, yes! I have them right where I...
There is an artifact here. The name is...
The scales of justice. Oh, it must be really fancy.
only to be used in a time of great peril. Yes, I think this qualifies.
Hey, look, Finley! You've lured one of the Plague Lords!
Take this, fiend!
In the face! Yeah! Hey, guys! Get that treasure! We've got a Plague Lord to destroy!
Yes, please, hurry!
Not to worry, Finley. We just push this thing right here.
No, that's a trap! Watch out!
It's all good. I am phonily tied.
Gracious me!
What we actually need to do is press this. And there. A fish.
No! It's the scales of justice!
Oh. Ah, who wants to use it first?
Oh, I do! Me! On second thought, maybe give it to Finley?
All you had to do was hold a rope.
Here we go, blaming the tall, ruggedly handsome guy again.
My name is David Chan. In the game, I go by justsaiyan. My username is just kind of a pun, right? But over the years, I think it's grown to mean a lot more to me. Playing Hearthstone for 4 to 5 years, I've probably won like 35,000 games, which means I've lost like 30,000 games. So definitely going back and forth and picking up after every loss. And that's kind of what the anime embodies, right? Is like you lose a fight, you almost die, and then you come back stronger. So being in Grandmasters, especially coming to the summit and everything, it feels like you have just a wide, diverse range of amazing players. And now it's, at least at the start here, it feels like we have a new responsibility to represent Hearthstone, to represent, you know, how fun and competitive that this game can be to the best that we can. So for me, the X factor has to be, I think, just I'm good at finding an edge where other players aren't exactly looking, and then trying to drive as much as I can into that so that I have an even bigger edge at the end of the day. Personal goals for the year: get into the 2 spots from North America to make it to the grand finals this year. I mean, I'm saying this like right after Worlds, but I'm just dying to get back in there, you know?
Saiyan turning to his Malagos Druid, one of the first people in Americas last week to bring it. Now this week, 13 out of the 16 players have chosen to bring Malagos Druid, one of the most popular decks in the region. Very different than the rest of the regions, who have all opted mainly for Quest Druid. In the meantime, Rase turning to Bomb Warrior to stop the Elise combos, to really punish the Druid for drawing deep into the deck. Let's see who's right. Also important to note, Mech Paladin banned away from Rase, so
I know.
Saiyan one step ahead. He knew Frozen gave out that information, so he made them practice the matchup and waste their time, and then banned it anyways.
Next level.
TJ, how many times has Mech Paladin banned prior to this week?
Prior to this week?
Yeah, in Season 2.
One
time.
It was banned against StrifeCrow last week.
No, it was banned in week 2 when, it was banned in week 2 when Tyler versus Shaxi, and Shaxi decided to ban it away. Or sorry, Tyler banned it away.
It wasn't banned last week against StrifeCrow? In his second match?
No.
Because he won with it in his first match. Second match he lost, and I thought it was banned.
Nope. Oh, okay. I will reference it real quick. StrifeCrow last week played against Firebash. StrifeCrow won 2-0. The bans against him were was Quest Druid.
Okay.
And then the second ban was also Quest Druid. Very interesting. Anyways, this week Mech Paladin's been banned 3 times. Once with Muzzy versus StrifeCrow. He respect banned it. We even asked him about it, and then we just saw it twice with Bloodyface and versus PNC and justsaiyan versus
of the Sands.
Interesting choices all around.
Yeah. Saiyan going for the old coin Crystal Merchant and forgo the quest.
I like this play a lot.
This delays quest progress, but draws him potentially 2 extra cards. And I think because you need to draw cards in this matchup, and your quest completion sometimes is secondary, I prefer drawing cards. Now he gets to go quest next turn, draws a card. Goes Crystal Merchant the following turn, draws another card.
No.
And his quest is only delayed once. Also, unless Rase had a turn 2 play, it's likely that this Crystal Merchant would stay alive, which means that he would draw even more cards. So quite an interesting scenario.
I actually universally think that it's almost correct to play Crystal Merchant on the coin against Warrior, period.
Against Warrior, yes.
Because you rarely even need to have things on 5 anyway.
Yeah.
Like you're saying.
In other matchups, I think that completing the quest as early as possible is more of a priority, but you do have time. Now, however, Rase is playing Bomb Warrior, so his time is more limited.
Right.
And Rase is playing the full bomb package. He's got double Elec, double Goblin, double Wrench Caliber, plus the Blastmaster.
Rase prioritizing having minions on board. Saiyan picking up the Ferocious Howl. Now, important to know is that I've played Saiyan's list a handful of times. And the biggest thing that I noticed is that it does actually feel somewhat light on the heal because it has only one copy of Hidden Oasis. And that's fairly important because it's not gonna be able to offset the amount of damage dealt by the bombs.
I wonder.
This is, I'm sure, specifically one of the matchups that Rase now get on PNC, the players that brought Bomb Warrior, were looking for by bringing the deck. There was a combo-heavy meta last week with a lot of Holy Wrath Paladin and Malygos Druid on the rise. And if they expected that to continue this week, then Holy Wrath Paladin plus Malygos Druid were probably two of the decks that were specifically there in their heads for bringing Bomb Warrior.
Now the thing is, one thing that people sometimes forget, having the Elise combos is great. Don't forget the original 30 damage combo, which was discount Malygos to 2 mana and then double swipe and Moonfire, which was ungodly amounts of damage. That's 30, because each Moonfire deals 6 and each swipe deals 9, and that equals a clean 30. And if you're able to even add that through other things like a Pounce, some players I see play Zephyrus and they're able to extend their range that way. It gets pretty nutty. Looks like a good opportunity for Saiyan to dump his hand now. If he does go for an Innervate and then Nourish, can play the Anubis-Soth Defender. I wonder if instead he's probably just going to go with Oasis Surger in this spot. But it's not mana efficient, and I think he's been playing so mana efficient leading up into this season that it's definitely worth thinking about if he wants to go for the Nourish. But it's kind of hard to say 2 5/5s on 6 is mana inefficient. It's so much tempo.
It is a lot of tempo.
It was to the point where people started looking at a hidden, Oasis Surger and thinking, is this just make Druid overpowered? And it wasn't, because when the expansion first released, Quest Druid was kind of a cool deck to play that was off meta. Everyone was playing Reno Mage, and Quest Druid got muscled out by the Luna's Pocket Galaxy.
Same with Hunter, Reno Hunter. I think in the early days, Reno Hunter was, it might even be still considered a favorite in the matchup.
I wonder.
Against Quest Druid?
Against Quest Druid.
If you can look it up if you'd like.
I think it's a lot closer now. I don't know, it feels like maybe people got better at playing around secrets, like Pressure Plate was new and people didn't know. But ladder statistics are also pretty skewed for Reno Hunter decks right now. They keep saying it's better than it is.
Definitely.
That's subjective from my end, but I still think that it just struggles.
Saiyan can go for the Ferocious Howl here and Anubis-Soth Defender. I wonder if he wants to instead remove, like play Swipe and then play Anubis-Soth Defender to try and improve the fact that the Anubis-Soth Defender can fight for the board here. Going into turn 7, I think the #1 concern in your mind was Blastmaster Boom. But your opponent also played Clockwork Goblin on 7, on turns that he could have played it any time leading up to it before the Restless Mummy, right? Your opponent was playing Restless Mummy just to have board presence. And I think that shows you that you don't have to worry about it as much. This starts to get complicated, though. Wrench Caliber means 2 more bombs shuffled in, 3 total in the deck. It means Saiyan has to draw at least 10 damage before he can Elise combo. And it seems unlikely given the scenario right now.
Yeah, and he knows that there's one more guaranteed as well with the Wrench Caliber equipped.
Okay.
So.
Might actually be a blessing in disguise here for Saiyan, despite taking that damage. I'm even wondering if he can get away with playing Geppetto here. Oh, his Malagos is already in hand.
Malagos is in hand, but he can still Geppetto into Dream Petal Florist and Elise.
Elise is on the far left.
Oh, Elise on the far left. So Dream Petal Florist and War Druid Lodi.
Yeah, it's not really as good anymore.
Those are the only 2 minions left in the deck. Oh, and another Nubisat Defender. And another Oasis Surger. Okay, there's still a significant amount of minions.
The thing about it is that Saiyan's at 9 cards.
Yep.
Yeah. And so in a way, drawing that bomb, like I said, was a slight blessing in disguise because he was able to offset that damage.
I'm so
Active Boom Mad Genius. Giving all his next rush, but he doesn't have that card draw. I wonder if Saiyan can even just out-tempo Rase.
That's why I was curious. I know that was a good turn to play Dr. Boom Mad Genius, but the War Gear Magnetize onto the Eternium Rover was pretty good.
Yeah.
It allowed him to kill it off. Now, yeah, this is a lot of tempo.
This is a hard. I mean, this looks like a brawl board. And then once Rase set up is like a brawl, like I mean, Saiyan might just overwhelm him with stats.
Yeah.
Is that Town Crier draw? This draws a Ziliax.
Draws a Ziliax.
That is a potentially impactful card here.
So can Town Crier brawl?
But then, like, if he doesn't win the brawl, how does he deal even with just like a 6/6?
Well, next turn he has War
This
Gear
would be a good
Ziliax.
time for a master plan.
So you Town Crier brawl, Blast Shield. Next turn you have War Gear Ziliax and a Wrench Caliber swing to clean up. He negates the damage that he takes with the Blast Shield.
Yeah, without these Town Criers, I think Rase would have been in a terrible spot.
Oh yeah.
So 6/6 survives without a taunt. Saiyan trying to find ways to dump his hand, finds the Anubisat Defender. I think he probably just ends up playing that just to have more board presence.
Power.
2 chances at discounting Malagos. Getting Malagos to 0 would effectively feel like a guaranteed win. Doesn't need to have Elise hit anymore, to be honest.
Oh, well.
Just picks up second swipe. Already used one swipe.
He's already used a swipe.
Okay.
So his maximum damage is somewhat limited, but to be honest, it's not that limited. He's only got 8 cards left in his deck. He can still Elise. He's got a little bit of armor gain with Ferocious Owl. There's only 1 or 2 bombs left in the deck right now. There's going to be 3.
Slow.
Yeah, Rase needs something to start packing the punch here soon. I'm thinking Delivery Drone. I'm thinking Omega Assembly off the top.
I'm thinking the War Gear play that you're suggesting might have a lot more implication than we might let on.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Saiyan still has 2 more bombs in the deck. Or 1 more bomb.
Now he has 1.
Oh.
And Rase didn't swing with the Wrench Caliber, which I understand. But this could be an opportunity for Saiyan to get some copies. The problem is it enough damage?
Is it possible for Saiyan to even have lethal?
Right now?
So I'm just asking if it's possible. If he had like played Elise and 2 Malagos with 2 Moonfires and a swipe.
Right now he's gonna get he's gonna have 2 swipes and 2 Moonfires with 2 Malagos.
Ooh, a Loti he can play. That's sick. Say anything about just copying his hand now. And if he copies his hand, he's actually going to be resilient against bombs. If he like pounces and then plays Elise, he has a full hand with 2 Malagos, 2 Moonfires, and 2 swipes. And any bomb that he draws doesn't deal any damage to him. He chooses to hold onto it because the value of drawing a single Moonfire here is still very high. And he has the life that he can afford to do this.
I think with this hand he needs to copy second Moonfire.
There's not enough card draw in this deck. Okay, now is this lethal, TJ?
No, he has 36 38. Because he'd copy. He'd have to. If he can get rid of the Innervate, he'd have 6 cards left. So he copies 2 Moonfires, 2 swipes in the Malagos. Because he'd have to unload the Pounce and the Innervate. And then he'd be able to double Malagos, 1 swipe, 2 Moonfires, which would be 36. Because each Moonfire is 11, so that's 22, plus the swipe, which is 14, so that's 36. The Pounce is 38. If this War Druid Lodi sticks, then you add 3, because he's playing 3 spells.
For no one.
Need a hand,
Plus the
explorer?
4, so you add 7 total, so that's 43. Oh wait, he could copy the... No, he still has the mana. So that's double swipe, that's...
I always think that there's got to be a possibility for lethal of some capacity.
Wait a second. If he had played both Malagos there and both Moonfires...
That'd be 22.
Um,
plus another 10 on the swipe.
Plus another 10 on the swipe, so that's 32. Was he 1 damage off
He
that
was
turn?
1 damage off, it looks like. Because he wouldn't be able to squeeze in any other play. 1 damage off lethal. Wait, no. Swipe does 15. Because of the Lodi.
No, but the Lodi was on board, so it would be just plus 10.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
He already...
No, the Moonfires deal more than 6. It deals 7 each.
So that was.
Okay, then.
So
No. It deals 12 damage. Yeah, it was lethal. Wasn't it? Because the Lodi was an extra spell damage, so he can double Malagos, and the Moonfire
So each is
deals
12, so that's 24. Plus he would have had an extra 10 on the swipe. It's 34. Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
And he has exactly 4 mana remaining.
He's still very much got this game.
Unity. Precision.
Yeah, because he has...
You can't go above 30 life. Race is still super dead, but I'm pretty sure Saiyan had lethal the previous turn.
Yeah,
We
he
could
did.
be miscounting. This
He
is
did.
Race. This is 100%.
Yeah, because each did 12, so that was 34 extra damage. So it was lethal, yeah. That's a really hard turn to figure out because you have to dump and do all that math.
But something just... Okay, there's like... When you play this deck enough, you develop a 6th sense. The Malagos sense.
We're going to approach Saiyan about this.
Unbelievable.
Make him answer for his crimes.
So his opponent was at 42. Swipe does 15. Moonfire does 12. Another 12. So it's 24, 39, plus the 2 pounces is 43 damage. His opponent's at 42.
Would have been 1 over lethal.
This is the #1 points leader from 2018?
I don't think so.
This was a top 8 finisher in the World Championships?
Not my points leader.
Unacceptable. Saiyan apparently declined the interview. We were just told by the producer that he is opting out of it. Whoa, he already has heard everything we had to say.
Did he really?
All right. Okay.